I don't know what's going on with this video, but I'm going to try to speed this thing up. Just bear with me. If you all have to watch all the videos in order, just please do so because it's really important. So, going back to Genesis chapter 41, we're going to skip down to verse 47. And in the 7 plenteous years, and the earth brought forth by handfuls, and he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities. The food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. And Joseph gathered the corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. We're going to go down to 53. And the 7 years of plenty that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, and the people cried unto Pharaoh for bread, and Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what he say to you, do. And the famine was all over the face of the earth. This is going to be a worldwide thing. When we go to war, it's not going to be a war on the United States of America. It's going to be a worldwide war, World War III. People don't believe it's going to happen, but whatever. Continue to sleep in your slumber. But those who have an ear, hear what the word of Yahuah is saying. This is serious. And the famine was all over the face of the earth. And Joseph opened up all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. This thing going to be bad. And all the countries came into Egypt and Joseph for to buy corn. Now, like I said before, some verses says grains. That could be barley, that can be wheat, it can be corn, it can be flax, it can be whatever. Because that the famine was so sore in all the lands, all over the earth, it's going to be a bad famine. Now, I want to talk about this vegan thing, this veganism thing. They're pushing everybody to be vegan. They're saying like, oh, yeah, we need to go towards veganism. We need to, think about our health more. These are the benefits of becoming veganism. Now, I was practicing it. But now that I'm saying everybody running towards it, I'm like, hold up. Once the world started running towards something, you need to back away from it. So I was thinking to myself, like, why is they pushing this vegan diet, When you look back in Joseph's days, he was storing up grain because it was a famine. That's why they're pushing this veganism agenda, because it's a famine on our land and we don't even realize it because we live in deliciously with the delicacies of this Babylonian system. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're pushing everybody towards eating more grains, eating more fruits, eating more vegetables, which, by the way, is GMO, because farmers didn't do so good last year, with their crops. They planted all these crops. I heard somebody say that, some farmers was planting 75% of the crops, and the only thing that came up to harvest was 45%. So what happened to the other 30 or 35%? They didn't make it because the weather was so wet and the crops couldn't survive in that. It's a famine. It's a famine, y'all. That's the reason why they're pushing this veganism agenda. Because at any time they can say, oh, well, there's no more crops. Oh, the crops, they didn't come up. There's no harvest. There's a food shortage. And when you cut on the TV or when you look on YouTube or the internet, they're telling you that there's a shortage in sugar cane. There's a shortage in bees. There's a shortage in corn. There's a shortage in the potatoes. Corn is in everything. High fructose corn syrup. It's a famine. Wake up, y'all, and y'all ain't listening, and nobody is paying attention. Those who have an ear, hear what the voice of Yahuah is saying. I want to go to Revelation, because I don't know if this phone will cut off or not, but just bear with me, please. We're going to be reading for Revelation chapter 18. I'm going to read chapter 18, verse 2, verse 4, and verse 8. Starting with verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is falling, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, in a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. Is falling. Is present tense. She is making breakfast. She is doing laundry. That's a right now thing. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Yahuah is not going to be sparing nobody. Man, woman, or child, come out. You don't want your children to perish because you failed to do what this word is saying. Blessed are those who heed to the prophecies of this book. Do y'all understand? This is bad, y'all. We finna go to war. Oh my gosh. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. Famine. This is crazy. And it shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahuah who judges her. Let me tell y'all something. It's not going to be no greater. It's not going to be. The Great Depression is over. This going to be the greatest depression. The greatest. They getting ready for that war over in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All them countries are over there right now. They ready to go to war. This is that war that Yahuah was talking about. And she shall be burned utterly with fire for everything that she has done. Verse 11, standing afar off the fear of her torment. Everything that basically, where's that verse at? Verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup in which she hath filled to her double. Double. United States of America is going to get it. This is a big bully. Don't you know they call this country Big Satan? Yeah, Great Satan. We gonna get it. That's why Yahuah said, come out of her, that you be not partakers in her sins, and that you be not partakers of her plagues. Everybody need to get this book. It's called Strategic Relocation. When you look at the nuke maps, nukes are all over this country. Blow up one, blow up all. They gonna be burnt, y'all. We think we such a superpower. Yeah, you're a superpower, all right. You're gonna be super blowed up and bombed. Come out of her. This famine is gonna come and it's gonna sweep this nation. We ain't never seen nothing like this. Not in our generation. That's why people don't believe it can happen. Because when you wake up every day and you go to work, stuff is all good. You go to work, you making your money. You come home, you cooking dinner for your family. You going out to eat. You going to the movies. You taking vacation. All of that is gonna become to a knot in one day. And it's soon. And we don't even realize it. Y'all need to wake up. Y'all asleep because y'all not in his word. Y'all not seeking Yahuah for a plan. And everybody believing that, oh yeah, you know, when that time come, Yahuah was just going to let it rain manna for the sky. Just like he did in the Old Testament, because Yahuah never changed. No, Joseph prepared. He prepared. So what do you think is going to happen to you if you don't? Woe to the person. You're going to be worse than a non-believer. You're going to be worse than an infidel watching your kids starve because you refuse to take heed to the prophecy of this book. Wake up. Sleep time is over. Playtime is over. When you go to the stores and you see that your packages used to be big and now your packages are small and the portions are small, but the prices are being jacked up every time you look. Shrinkflations. They're shrinking your food and jacking up the prices. Get your money out the bank. Because when that EMP attack happened and the electricity is wiped up. You can't go and get your $5,000, your $10,000, your $1.3 million. The rich is going to be equal as the poor. And we all going to suffer if you do not take heed to the prophecies of this book and go to Yahuah for a plan, y'all. It's not, stop focusing on the things of this world. Y'all gonna starve. Y'all need to be trying to figure out the laws of the threes. Food, water, shelter. And then last year, well, not last year, but what was that? 2018, when that government shutdown happened and Trump was telling everybody, y'all need to be storing up 6 months worth of food. But he said that right after the government shutdown had happened, and it went over everybody's head. 6 months without electricity, without food, without water, without medical supplies. How are you going to take care of yourself if you're a diabetic and you're dependent upon the pharmacy or sorcery for your medicines? If your kids have food allergies and they're allergic to certain foods, how are you going to feed them? Get ready, y'all. Judgment is here. Famine is here. Prep while you still can and seek